Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're diving into something a little heavier but extremely important. So I recently watched a conversation between Joe Rogan and physicist Brian Cox, where Brian expressed genuine concern about the fact that despite the vastness of the universe, we've seen no sign of any advanced civilization making it off their home planet. So let's watch the clip.
We now know there's so many planets out there. So let's say trillions of planets in the Milky Way. The Milky Way's been there for over 13 billion years, pretty much the age of the universe. So if there's no one else out there, then the question is why? Because there's been so much time and so many places for civilizations to become spacefaring civilizations.
Right.
As Elon talks about, multiplanetary civilization, we're very close to becoming a multiplanetary civilization. And once you have become a multiplanetary and multistellar civilization, if you become that, you're immortal, basically, essentially.
Right.
So the question is, the paradox is, why does it appear nobody has done that? So the first thing to say is, I would not be surprised, right? If a UFO landed here now in the parking lot, I'd actually, not only would I not be surprised, I'd be relieved, actually. Because I'd be like, this is good, because it'd be a weight off my shoulders, because I'm worried
that we're the only ones. That's
and
a terrifying scenario.
And we're going to make a mess of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm worried that we could talk about that.
Isn't it?
Brian Cox is right to be worried, because if the universe is teeming with life, why haven't we seen any signs of civilizations that made it off their home planet? Not one, right? Maybe it's not the lack of intelligence that holds them back, maybe it's what happens after intelligence evolves. So because what we call civilization isn't just the stacking of knowledge and technology, it's also the accumulation of fears, of tribal instinct and survival strategies etched deep into our brains and into our nervous systems. We evolve with opposing traits not because evolution is broken, but because conflict is the engine of adaptation. So some people are wired to seek safety and order, others are driven to break boundaries and chase freedom. So these are responses to unconscious traumas. So one contends with the trauma of confinement, a deep fear of being controlled or trapped. The other contends with the trauma of fear of change and the unknown. So they fear that without rules, without structure, everything falls apart. So this results in two very different operating systems. One resists boundaries because boundaries feel like cages. The other resists novelty because the new feels like danger. So none of them is wrong. They're both protecting something vital. And you know what's funny? They act as a counterbalance to each other, meaning they are two sides of the same coin. Both are essential. The freedom seeker needs to be balanced with the structure seeker. So too much freedom, nothing gets done, evolution stops. Too much structure leads to totalitarianism. So the problem begins when they stop seeing each other as necessary and start seeing each other as threats. That's when society fractures. That's when dialogue becomes war. That's when identity becomes a battlefield. It's not that we're evil or broken, it's that we are unaware. We are unaware of the survival patterns we've inherited. We are unaware of how fear quietly drives our politics, our beliefs, our relationships. We think we're fighting for the truth, but most of the time we're just defending the shape of our own trauma. This is why understanding is so urgent, because without it, evolution doesn't move forward, it collapses in on itself. Both are needed. The problem is that technology is evolving faster than wisdom, so the same instincts that once helped us to survive begin to pull us apart. And here's the critical point, and I'm asking you to pay special attention to this point because it's a little bit hard to comprehend, to understand. So I'm gonna go a little bit slower. So if evolution works the same everywhere around the universe, right? If survival pressure leads to intelligence and intelligence leads to culture, then every advanced species would likely go through this same internal war. A war between freedom and control, between tradition and innovation, between those who fear chaos and those who fear stagnation. So eventually, if they don't learn to understand why these opposites exist and how to integrate them, they destroy themselves. War, collapse, silence, right? And that's why the sky is so quiet, because getting to the stars isn't just about escaping gravity, it's about escaping ourselves, right? Until a species learns this, until it understands the opposing worldviews aren't threats but necessary tensions in a balanced system, then survival turns into self-destruction. This is what we are up against. Not aliens, not climate, not even war. Our real enemy is the ignorance about our own minds, the failure to ask, why do I think the way I do, and why do they think so differently than me? Why? So understanding this, truly understanding it, is the next step in evolution, and without it, I'm afraid we won't go anywhere. And if we actually manage to go somehow, what will happen if we encounter a different civilization that thinks differently than us? War again. If this video resonated with you, I have great news. I'm now offering free access to my book, Rise of Understanding, via Google Drive. If you're interested in exploring more, check the link in the description. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.
If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. That will allow us to keep making more videos like this. For more related content, please click on one of the suggested videos. Thank you for watching.